Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back. It is another video. In today's video, we're gonna be doing another one of these DC MCU concept videos, and it's gonna be part number 24. Or actually, we're replacing Avengers Endgame with now the Darkseid War. So yeah, essentially, this is actually technically this is part two of sorts. Well, yeah, of that whole, now we're in Infinity War and Endgame. We're in the last stages here. And yeah, it is Endgame again. And I've decided to call it Justice League Darkseid War because I thought it'd be a cool name. So yeah, if you haven't already, definitely I recommend checking out the last video if you want a good explanation into what's happening so far. Check out the Infinity War one. But I mean, a quick recap. Essentially, we saw Darkseid come to Earth, kill a bunch of people, kill most of the Justice League, murder them off, get the anti-life equation. Yeah. And basically, essentially, the Justice League failed. And the whole, or not even just the Justice League, just everybody we've seen so far in the DCU, with a few exceptions. I actually removed a few characters on purpose. So, yeah. Now, moving forward to the Darkseid War. So in terms of remaining characters, just so I can go a bit fast, I'm not gonna say the cast. If you're interested with the cast and stuff, check out the last video, or even check out their own solos, movies, or whatever. Just to go a little bit faster because the last video was a bit long, and I don't want to keep these videos super long. They will be long in length, but yeah. Anyways, let's run through it. We got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, Raven, Constantine, Flash, Green Arrow, Starfire, and now actually we got three other characters that are not three other characters. Sorry, three other one team and two new characters that we didn't see in Infinity War or Apocalypse War of sorts. And that is Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner's coming back. As you remember, the last movie he was away, so he didn't see any of the stuff that was happening, but he's coming back, don't worry. And then Shazam, he's supposed to come, or Captain Marvel, or Captain Thunder, whatever you want to call him. He's coming after his whole solo movie. And then we see the Suicide Squad who have came back. Now, just to keep it simple, honestly, I'm not going to put any deaths in terms of the Suicide Squad. I'm just going to put core members. Really like Deadshot, Harley Quinn, those characters. And it's not gonna really be King Shark. It's not gonna be what we're used to with the Suicide Squad and everybody dying or whatever like that. That's not happening. But yeah. So yeah, let's go through what's gonna happen in this movie. So essentially, what I plan to have happen in this movie is essentially similar to Infinity War. I know Darkseid isn't really like this, but I'm gonna have Darkseid take a step back. He's not gonna go straight up and attack them and stuff. He's gonna be like, "My plan is finished. I had the anti-life. I've destroyed Earth essentially, but I'll leave those survivors to scrounge for themselves and whatever." So essentially, that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna just take refuge on Apocalypse, while the rest of the Justice League is essentially the ones that are left in shambles. Essentially, are like, this is really bad. We need to try and save this world and whatnot. But it's important to know moral is pretty low. I'll say that moral is pretty low. Uh, and honestly, everybody's kind of doing their own things. Like for example, Constantine, he's not happy of what he just saw. He just saw his whole family essentially die. The Justice League Dark die. So he's essentially like, damn it, I really dislike that and stuff like that. So he's just like, I'm not a huge fan of that. So he decides to kind of cut a little bit, leave. Raven and Starfire kind of band together in Titan's Tower. Flash tries to help as many people as he can. Same with Superman. But Superman has kind of been weakened a little bit. Especially now because Darkseid is kind of lowered the power of the sun of sorts, so Superman's a little bit weakened. And then Wonder Woman has decided to go back to Themyscira, Batman's still in Gotham, trying to help out and whatnot. And then Green Lantern, or Hal Jordan, is essentially just kind of in the in space, kind of like helping out and whatnot. Then Green Arrow's like with the rest of the superheroes and whatnot. And then in terms of like the Suicide Squad, Shazam and Kyle Rayner's actually gonna head to Earth and be like, "What the hell happened?" Blah blah blah. And then Shazam is gonna be like, "I heard you guys can need some help." He's gonna enter maybe not mid movie, but a quarter into the movie. Actually, when the team essentially gets all together, and then Shazam's gonna come out of nowhere. And then the Suicide Squad is essentially going to be recruited, as Batman's gonna be like, "I know a few people that could help." So essentially, this movie's gonna poorly be about kind of reuniting the whole Justice League, and essentially trying to hatch a plan to essentially bring everybody back and just destroy Darkseid, I guess. Fight Darkseid, I guess. So yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. So essentially, they're gonna create a plan to essentially go back in time, or not go back in time, but more so like essentially what the Flash is gonna do is create a paradox, or because he has experience with time travel and paradoxing and all that stuff. So he is going to essentially try and be able to essentially go back in time, get everybody back, and everybody comes back. But there's only one downside to that. Yeah, this is kind of like plot armor. I mean, technically, like, I'm not gonna make these things perfectly, obviously, but you can only do this once. You can't just keep doing it and stuff. So it's either you go back in time, you essentially get everybody, but you can never do that again. You can never go back. So let's say for example, he brings everybody back, and then Darkseid essentially kills off, I don't know, him. He kills off him. He can't go back or whatnot. So that's exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna hatch a plan. Now again, the world's in shambles and stuff, so of course they're gonna need a lot of help in order to essentially do this. But there's one downside, in that being that where the essentially he has to run on a treadmill to do this, to build up speed, of course, is located in Star Labs. Now, where is Star Labs? Right where Darkseid is, or right, it's sitting underneath Darkseid, because Darkseid knows these heroes get to Star Labs, it's over. He can't deal with all of them. So that's essentially what's gonna happen. So so they're all gonna try and essentially head to Star Labs and try and finish this off. And yeah, they're gonna be recruiting characters and stuff like that. Constantine's gonna come back. Everybody's gonna come back. They're essentially, all these characters are gonna band together, essentially fight them off. And then Darkseid, he essentially gets wind of this. He hears this, and he essentially just sends like a shit ton of parademons there. And we end up seeing them essentially kind of like swarm up the place. Essentially. Oh, and it's important to note the plan, essentially what they wanted to do in terms of how to defeat Darkseid, is there's technically two plans in effect. There's one, you want to bring back everybody, and then there's two, which is what they want to do is essentially go back and get the three mother boxes to essentially send back Darkseid to send back. Essentially, Apocalypse is now here because he technically transported Apocalypse there, but essentially they want to send Darkseid, the parademons, all of that back into back somewhere far away where you can't deal any damage to Earth or anything like that. So that's essentially what he wants to do. Yeah, so that's essentially what they want to do. So that being said, the mother boxes are essentially kind of like destroyed of sorts after the whole events, and literally Darkseid killing Cyborg like that. So that's not a plan. So what they're gonna do is essentially Constantine, as well as some of the magic users, Raven, are going to aid in essentially sending back all these characters to essentially find these mother boxes. That's what's gonna happen. So essentially we're splitting into a few different teams here. We got one team trying to get the mother boxes, and then one team trying to go into Star Labs, bring everybody back. So that's exactly what's going to happen. The more heavy hitters are probably going to go with Flash and trying to go into Star Labs, while the other ones, maybe they don't have superpowers or whatever, or they're kind of low. They're not as powerful. Are going to actually get sent to essentially aid in this whole getting the mother box thing. So yeah, their plan. Long story short, their plan is going to survive. Is going to be good. Essentially that's what's going to happen. And everybody's essentially brought back, and then we have a huge endgame moment. Everybody's there. Everybody's good. Everybody's ready to essentially fight. So that's exactly what's going to happen. It's important to note it does not bring back everybody. So characters such as Tom Ari are dead, still dead. So don't worry about him. They're completely dead. Same with Kilowog. Kilowog is dead. Essentially, characters they essentially brought back everybody who died within the last hour, I would say, of Infinity Wars or Apocalypse Wars. So it's not everybody that the Flash brought back. It's just mostly most of the people and stuff like that. So that's exactly what's gonna happen. Essentially, all these characters will be brought back in a huge endgame style moment. They fight Darkseid with the anti-matter or anti-life equation. Sorry, and that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna get a few good moments, whatever. And actually, Batman's gonna wear that I think it's called Hellbat suit armor or something like that. The one that he uses to fight Darkseid. So that's what's gonna happen. They're all gonna fight. Essentially, that's what's gonna happen. All of them essentially get suited up and stuff like that, and they all go back in a huge endgame style moment. Similar actually to the thing you're seeing on the screen right now. Everybody's just charging in. Obviously, there's a few exceptions to that, but yeah, essentially everybody's charging in, ready to fight, and that's when we see it. Everything's going good. And then we see Darkseid still powerful as hell. So he's literally just like destroying everybody, to say the least. Yeah, we end up seeing that happen. He destroys everybody, to say the least. Everything goes good, and then eventually that's when we see like Darkseid knew of this, and he essentially had a contingency plan in plan, so he knew how to kind of deal with the Justice League. So that's exactly what he did. But again, like everybody's there, even like at the Atlanteans, Green Lantern Corps, Amazons, all of them, like armies are there. So don't worry about that. Yeah, and that's when we end up seeing essentially what Darkseid does is he literally charges at Batman with the Omega beams, and then Batman's armor can only take so much until eventually he's like beaming out, and then it manages that Darkseid has lots of kryptonite, which who knows where he got that from, probably from his conquest, whatever. And he literally injects Superman with a bunch of kryptonite. Now Superman's powers are slowly fading away. It's like this is a lot of kryptonite essentially. So yeah, we see that, and then we end up getting a glimpse of essentially Cyborg, who actually stays dead. It's important to know it's essentially people who died by Cyborg more so died kind of by the mother boxes of sorts. So like Cyborg stays dead. So it's better to just say who's dead right now. So currently right now, essentially Cyborg is like the only one really dead, as well as like Kilowog. Those are only two characters that are really dead. So they aren't here at all. So everybody realizes this, and then all like the more sciencey characters are literally like, we need to figure out a way to with this mother box. And that's essentially what they do. We see it like how they carry the gauntlet. Essentially, Darkseid is going after it, and then everybody manages to essentially get it to him. And then, in a kind of glimpse of moment, we end up seeing Darkseid grab the mother boxes, and he's literally about to destroy it. And that's when we see essentially Batman is like, I can't have this happening. He goes and he jumps right at Darkseid, grabs the mother boxes, and literally what he does is, instead of sending Darkseid away, he literally fuses himself with the mother boxes into great power, and he completely uses it on Darkseid and completely kills him. He kills him. I mean, obviously that's breaking Batman's rule, but I mean, it's the end game. It's whatever. He essentially kind of kills him, but of course, Batman, being human as he is, and the armor taking so much damage, Batman dies in a sort of Iron Man-esque style, and he is dead. So we end up seeing the death of Batman. And then in terms of Superman, Superman is still infused with the kryptonite, and essentially we end up seeing him lose his powers. It's so much kryptonite that, like, essentially he doesn't even have his powers anymore. So essentially that's what happens. All these characters are literally like, it's essentially done. Like, Batman is dead essentially. So yeah, Batman's dead, and then Superman essentially retires by the end of the movie. He's retired. We end up kind of seeing like everybody at a funeral scene, of course, for Batman and whatnot. And yeah, in terms of completely dead characters that I'm gonna have no longer come back at all. Kilowog, well, that's died in the past two movies, to say the least. Kilowog is dead for sure. Cyborg is dead. He's dead. He's gone. There's no more Cyborg. And then Batman is essentially dead. He's no longer coming back, as well as Superman. Superman's not dead, but he just has no powers. But he won't be Superman anymore. Essentially, he just retires at the end of the movie. Similar fashion to Captain America. Just, he's not dead or anything. He just retires essentially. So that's essentially what happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it though. Leave a comment down below. What did you guys think about this climactic event? I still got a few more videos to punch out in terms of like phase 4 and stuff. So don't worry about that. There'll still be some more videos. I'll also go into projects and stuff. So we got lots to still go through and stuff like that. I expect like these next few movies are definitely going to shape the DCU. I'm definitely going to fix up a lot of things, fix up a lot of plot holes, whatever. Fix up everything with that. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it though. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.